Good morning. How's everybody doing today? I'm Rhonda and you're watching The Taste of Country. I'm going to be making some cube steak for Daddy. And let's get to that recipe. Now, y'all, I thought I was recording. Daggone it. And I spilled my coffee. Let's say this again. Cube steak, y'all. Cube steak. Okay, I was out of buttermilk. So, I'm using sour cream, or I started the process last night. Now, sour cream has natural acidity in it, and it is great for marinating any type of meat, especially a cheaper cut of meat that has gristle or anything like that in it, especially cube steak. Now, we know beef is so expensive now, we can't hardly afford it. Cube steak used to be the most reasonable, but it's not anymore. You know, it just ain't. But anyway, I have some Daisy sour cream, and I put it in this bowl, and I layered the meat, put sour cream, and just layered it, and I let it marinate overnight. Now, what I said that didn't record was it really has broken down the connective tissue in this meat. So I'm thinking that it's going to be pretty tender. Daddy does not want gravy, but, you know, it may have to have gravy because you let it cook an hour on each side, simmering in its gravy to make it really, really tender. So, there we go, y'all. Pink cube steak. And not only will it marinate and make this meat tender, it helps the flour stick to it. Now, y'all bear with me. I've got a touch of something. I'm sniffling, coughing, and trying to refrain from doing that while I'm recording. Okay, I am going to put a little salt and pepper on this meat, but I want this meat to be room temperature when I cook it, so it won't shock it, and it will cook evenly. So I'm going to let this sit out for just a little bit, and we'll deal with that in just a few minutes. Okay. There we go again. Now, I've got some, goodness gracious, Rhonda. Knocked my carrots over. All right, I have some field peas and snaps. Field peas with snaps right here. These are really good. It's a good brand. And he loves vegetables, so I was going to cook it in my crock pot, but I think I'm just going to cook it over the stove with a little bit of bacon grease and salt and pepper. And I've got to fix him some kind of potato. He loves potatoes too. For the past 2 weeks, it's been soup. So I feel good about not fixing soup today. Now, I'm also going to fix something else, and this is for us. I've got some Napa cabbage that I need to cook because it's starting to wilt. Goodness gracious. And I washed it because produce just don't look very good anymore. And I'm going to make some egg rolls, spring rolls, and that is clean. That's just in the, it's spotted, it's in the leaf itself. I scrubbed it, and I did the best I could with it. And I'm going to chop this up I find that spring rolls, I don't know, I mean, everybody's different. I like Napa cabbage for spring rolls because it's a milder cabbage and it's not as tough to chew. Has a better chew, I think. I like the flavor. If you've never tried Napa cabbage, give it a whirl. I think you'll like it. Then I've got some carrots and celery that I'm going to chop up. And I'm going to saute these, let them cool, and I'm going to roll them up in a wonton or egg roll wrapper. And we're going to cook those later, too. Alrighty. I've put these field peas and snaps in a pot, as you can see. I'm going to add some bacon grease. You don't have to. It's totally up to you. About a tablespoon. Keep that in the refrigerator. And I've got some better than bouillon chicken. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of that. And I've already put a little bit of salt. I'm not going to put much salt because, you know, that's to taste. And some pepper. And I'm going to add some water to this. All right, I'm peeling up some of these carrots for my egg rolls later. I'll save those. I wanted them thin. Get all that beta carotene in that paper towel. So there's some celery. And then I've got my carrot. And here is my Napa cabbage. These are some daggone huge green onions. Look at them things. I've rinsed them. I'm going to have to put that on a paper towel. to saute these anyway. It'll get a lot of that water out. They were wet when I got them, where they have them under the sprinkler system at the supermarket. But I need to let those sit out and dry out just a little bit. I just got them. Alrighty. I like them smaller when I'm, you know, putting them in something like this. But alrighty, y'all. It's been sitting out for 35 or so minutes. I put my beans on, and I'm gonna make him some twice baked potatoes. And I'll show y'all how I made those. Well, they're in the oven. Oh me. I'm trying to get it together. Trying, y'all. Okay. Guess I gotta find me something here. Here comes the sun. Do 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 do. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm so happy to see the sun shining. Here comes the sun. Now this flour, all I have is self-rising, and it's fine. And I put some salt and pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. And that's all you need. That's all I need. And gently pick up this meat. Let me turn my oil on. Okay. But try the sour cream. I think it's going to do really well. And just press it down in that meat. The flour is what I do. I like to just press it down into that. Look at that pink meat. Zoe would say, that's pretty color, Nana. Now, they're not done yet. Daggone it. They're almost ready. The baked potatoes. And I'm just going to set it on this tray here. So I'm going to batter the rest of this up, and I will return. You know, I told you the sour cream would break down this connective tissue. I think Greek yogurt would probably do the same thing, because I think there's some Lebanese or Mediterranean food that you can marinate, like some lamb. I think they or shawarma. I've seen people marinate shawarma in a Greek yogurt mixture. I don't know if everybody does it, but I've seen it done. Now, I'm going to save this flour just in case I decide to make a gravy. I'm definitely not going to eat all of it, but, you know. I'm getting ready to fry up my cube steak, but for my twice baked potatoes, I'm going to have some cream cheese and some butter, salt and pepper. All right, I think I got my grease hot enough here. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit more. Now I'm using Crisco because I'm out of cooking oil. Come on, come on. He is still coughing. He was doing better, now he's coughing again. He won't listen to me, y'all. I was in the medical field. I know what I'm talking about. I want to raise that up, make sure some oil gets underneath it. Okay. Yep, I'm sticking them all in there. Okay. My countertops are just about wore out, y'all. My bar over here is really bad. I just want to make sure there's oil underneath it so it won't stick. There we go. Now I'm going to cover this just partially so the steam can release. I don't want it to sweat. And here are my field peas and a few snaps. I don't know why they say it ain't but like 3 or 4 or 5 snaps in there. I have a few more, 3 more potatoes, half potatoes, in the oven. They were a little thicker than these. But, you know, you can bake them all, you know, whole if you want to. But I find it's better to just go ahead and cut them in half and bake them and then scoop them out, because it doesn't tear the potato up so bad. And anyway, I just spray it with some oil, olive oil, and salt and pepper, and put it in the oven, 375, 400, until they get, you know, tender. And then I'm gonna let it cool some, and then I'm gonna scoop them out and put my stuff in it. My phone just fell over. So, see right here where it's just wearing out? It's very old. One of these days, I will try to get me a new one. But it still works. What I do, it done it again. I just take them and take a knife or a spoon, actually. I usually just take a spoon and just, you know, go around it like this. Let it cool to where you can touch it. And then I just, you know, scoop it out in a clean bowl. Like that. And I need to open up some of this right here. So I used about 4 potatoes, cut them in half. And I'm trying to pull this apart, this cream cheese. And I'm gonna use probably about a half a block of cream cheese. You don't have to, you know, it's whatever you like. Some people just like, you know, butter, and they add a little bit of milk, you know. I don't mean to say you know a lot, but that's just me. And then I'm gonna cut up about a half stick of butter, because I want it to melt when I put these warm potatoes in it. Okay. And I just scoop it out gently. Gently. So did y'all get some, was Santa Claus good to you? This is just cream cheese and butter. Was Santa good to you? And if it tears a little bit, it ain't no big deal, because once you put your filling in it, back in it, your potato filling, it'll hold its shape. Just take out as much potato as you want to. I'm gonna tell you what, if y'all watch any of my videos, I have said this, potatoes is my favorite thing to eat. I've said this too. If I was on death row and they asked me what my last meal wanted to be, I say French fries, some type of potato, but French fries loaded, or French fries crispy, salt and pepper, ranch dressing, and some ketchup. I remember growing up, and, you know, we couldn't afford much. We had beans and potatoes a lot. No, we did. We had beans and potatoes one day and potatoes and beans the next. But Mama would get groceries, you know, like on a Wednesday or Thursday, and we'd have hot dogs or hamburgers. And on Sundays, she would fry some chicken. But sometimes, on Saturdays, and I think this was after my sisters had gotten married and left, but Daddy would want a steak, and Mama would fry them steaks in an iron skillet. My mama could cook now. And she'd say, I was like, I don't know, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, maybe 8. I can't remember. I was little. And she'd say, you want a steak? I don't want a steak. I want a TV dinner, but I don't want one unless you get me one with brownie. And that's what she'd do. I loved them with that brownie in it. But don't give me one if it ain't got a brownie in it. No, I just flipped my meat. And that cooked about 10 or so minutes until it got crispy like. So I broke one. I'm gonna eat it. Now I put that in the microwave to heat it up a little bit more. And I'm gonna add some sharp cheddar cheese. I've been grating my own cheese, but we have this and I wanna go ahead and use it before it goes bad. And that's about a cup. And you can take your mixer and mix these up like mashed potatoes, but I don't want to because it's a baked potato. And there are lumps in your baked potato. But if you want to have a smoother, silkier one, you can. But I like the chunks of potato. There's a piece of skin in it too, right there. The one that broke. And you can put bacon in it, but he doesn't want any bacon, so he has a couple of pieces every other morning. My father-in-law, he'll cook it, he'll par-cook it and then freeze it. Take him out a couple of pieces, stick it in the microwave. I'm sorry. And there you go. And I'm gonna add a few of these scallions, but I want them to be chopped up a little bit better. Oh, me. I'll be right back, y'all. And there we go. And just add a little bit. Mix it up. And I've got to add some sour cream. A dollop of daisy. $1 for Daisy. About a couple of tablespoons. Or 1/4 of a cup. You know, everybody makes their potatoes differently. We just want to give ideas, just some ideas. Now I need to taste that. Doesn't need any salt. That's good. Yeah, a little bit of pepper. You can taste that cream cheese and that sour cream and the butter. And I've got to stuff my potatoes and put them back in the oven for just a few minutes. Okay. All right. I'm going to stuff them and put them back on the same plate and then stick them in the oven. They've cooled off completely. And if you have any left over, you can pile it high or just eat it. And just hold it in the palm of your hand so it won't break until, you know, you get it filled up. It's almost like making deviled eggs. You know, they can fall apart until you put your mixture in it, and then it holds everything together. Now I bake these on 400. You see that? But it'll hold together once I get my mixture in there. I've decided to make some gravy. And I added about 4 tablespoons of flour in here. And I want this flour to get a little bit darker. And then I'm going to put the cube steak back in here and let it simmer for a little while. I mean, it's pretty tender, but it makes it better. I think a lot of it is the choice, not choice, but the quality of the meat itself. Because I have bought cube steak where it was just real tender, and I bought it where you'd cook it the exact same way and it's not so tender. Now I'm going to add some water. You can add milk if you like. I'll definitely have to add some salt to this and pepper. I was gonna do mushrooms and onions, but I think he wanted it just plain. We'll add just a pinch of kitchen bouquet for gravy. You don't need much. It's made from real vegetables. See how you didn't need but just a half of a teaspoon. Or a half of a cap. And we'll need a little bit more water. About 5 cups of water. pepper and gravy is a match made in gravy heaven. A little bit of salt. And just a tad of ground mustard. Just a little bit. Just give it a little bit of a zing, but not much. It won't be like regular mustard, no. Definitely needs more salt. Heck, gravy requires salt, unless you just don't like it at all. Let me rinse this spoon off. Well, actually, I'll get a clean one. This is a clean spoon. That'll do it. And there's your gravy. And it's good. And if you like it darker, just brown your flour more. It's gonna get thicker. Now I'm gonna place my meat back in here and turn it down and let it simmer. Turn it down. The crust stayed on it. I don't know about after we cook it in the gravy. Alrighty. So I'm gonna turn this down on simmer, and I'm gonna let it cook for probably an hour. And the potatoes are ready. I wished I had some chives, but I don't. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of the green onion on it for color. My hands are clean. I just washed them. So there we go. Smelling wonderful. And I have to send him 5 of these. See that? Well, I've went ahead and packed up Randy's daddy's food. And we have 2. Let me show you. Slide this over. I have 2 pieces of steak left, and that's what we're going to eat for dinner. Keeping it warm. And we have 2 twice-baked potatoes left. Now, I told him that I needed to fix that, cook that cabbage. Sorry, y'all, moving you around. And that, you know, I had planned on making these spring rolls, and he said, oh, that sounds great. Gravy and spring rolls. I said, well, yeah, I guess it does, and we laughed. But anyway, it's just the way it is. I'm gonna saute my carrots and celery and my spring onions. I mean, you know, it'll be some we could eat tomorrow. It'd be left over. Nobody said that it had to go together. I think you could eat a spring roll with about anything you wanted to eat it with, right? Anyway. I think it's funny. Even though that I have celery in here, I always like to add some celery seed, but I don't have any. I've got to buy some. I just climbed up in a chair and looked in my spices, and I have everything but. I found a lot of poppy seeds, but no celery. Turn this down. I'm going to add a little bit of water to that. It helps cook it faster. I've been wanting an egg roll. Well, spring roll. Not an egg roll. Alrighty. Just want to get this softened up. I like to cook it before I, you know, put it in the wonton wrapper. You can do it raw, but I like it cooked well. You have to let it cool, of course, before you roll it up. And I don't cook it all the way. Okay, I guess we don't know. And I'll drain that liquid. I'll have to. I can't do nothing without knocking something around, y'all. See what I mean? I'm telling you. My hands don't want to work sometimes. Goodness gracious. And here's the not so green Napa cabbage. And it'll cook down. I'm gonna add some salt to this. And some pepper. And I have some sesame oil I keep in the refrigerator. And I have a little bit of low sodium soy sauce. I'm just gonna hit a little bit on that. Just hit it a couple of times. And I'm gonna let this simmer for a few minutes, and I'll be back, y'all. I'm gonna add a little bit of sesame oil, toasted sesame oil. You have to be careful with that stuff. It can take over the world. Yeah, I know this don't exactly go with country style steak or whatever, but it's okay. Cabbage does. I have to get that olive oil off. Now I'm going to add my carrots and stuff back in here that I drained. May have to drain some more off of it. Don't know yet. I want to add just a sprinkle of sugar. That's a half of a teaspoon of granulated sugar. Just for a little sweetness, not much. And that's ready. It's just got to cool now. I'm gonna put it in a bowl and let it come to room temperature. Or I could even stick it in the refrigerator, whatever. Depends on how much time you got. Look what I got me. With a little spoon in it. My stepdaughter wanted one for Christmas. I got me one too. All right, y'all, I got my egg roll wrappers out. Now, I roll mine differently, I guess, than most people. These are not very big. And this is the way I like to roll mine. I just like to fold mine over like this. And like I said, you might have a certain way you want to roll yours. And that's fine. And I just push it up like that, and I just roll it. Well, the other ones turned out a little better than this one did. I roll them like that. They're not very big. I tried rolling them the other way, but it didn't do too well. You know, like that. And that's just the way I do it. Any way you want to do it works, as long as the filling stays in it. I have bought wrappers that were bigger than this. Now you need to wait till your filling gets cool, because if you do it while it's warm, it's gonna be a big mess. And your fingernails will punch a hole in it too. And you have to wet it and sort of stay. They're very easily to tear. I got a package out there that I had to return to Amazon, and they said they were going to pick it up today. Well, it's been out there all daggone day, and they have yet to pick it up. Maybe it'll be tomorrow, I don't know, but they said today. And you don't want your packages to sit outside, you know, like that. All right, I'm gonna finish these up. If I can get them apart. Let me see if I can do one this way. I haven't mastered it. See, I guess it's any old way that you can do it. All right, you want to just fry them about 5 minutes, just until they turn brown. So here we go. Looks pretty good. Pretty good. And they're really too hot to eat. That's good. So here is the country style steak. And it is just tender as I don't know what. You don't even need a knife. It's so good. Alrighty. Y'all, thank you for watching. Really, thank you. And if you would hit that like button, it goes a long way. It helps me to continue to build my channel. And if you hit the like button or leave a comment, they count that. They do. They count it. And it helps. And there's an option sometime where you can hype a video. If you see that, I appreciate that too. Y'all have a wonderful night, because it's getting dark. It's almost 7 o'clock. And I've been in the kitchen about all day. But thank you so much again. And I'll see you soon. And God bless you all. And I'll see you again on A Taste of Country.